Okay. Hi guys. So thanks so much for hopping on tonight's call. I am going to record this, so let your girls know. I know a bunch of people messaged me just to make sure because they wanted to hear this. So my name is Annie, and I am a 6-star diamond. And Brooke and Brooke Reed, if you want to introduce yourself real quick. I know I feel like most people know you, but just in case.
Right now? Oh, okay. Hi, I'm Brooke. I am a lifetime 2-star. I've been a coach for over 4 years, and Annie and I are really excited to have this call with you guys.
Yeah. So the main focus of this call is I'm going to go over how to develop your why, because I think it's something that, we really, really need to dig into in order to do the things that we need to do every single day with this business and get to where you want to be with your business. And then Brooke is going to dive into a vision. So like where you want to take your vision. She's going to go over that after I go over mine. But so I made a little chart here for you guys. I'm just going to share my screen. And if you guys do not know my story really quickly, I'm a mom of 3 boys. I started this business when I was 26 years old, and I had 2 little kids, and I was working full-time in corporate with a company called Pearson Education. So I was on the road a lot. I didn't have a lot of time. I had all those excuses that we probably, tell ourselves when we first started, or you might hear from people now, like, I don't have time, I'm busy. But I really saw this opportunity when I started to believe in the programs and the products. And I really, really strongly believe that one of the reasons why in 3 years, while I was working full time and 2 little kids, I was able to create a 6-figure income and bring myself home and really dive into this business is because I, every single day, strongly focused on my why. And so there's 3 things I want you guys to think about. It's what, how, and why. So those are the 3 things that we do as coaches. We, what we do, right? Obviously, we're health and fitness coaches. We do the programs, the products. We invite, we share all the vitals that we hear all the time. We know what to do. We know how to do it. And if you don't know how to do it, you can hop on YouTube and learn how to do it very, very quickly. Or you can jump on a training call. Everything I learned pretty much was from YouTube or getting in the online office and learning it. So the what and the how are not things that you can't figure out, and you are not really going to struggle with too much. It's more of the why that is has to be so strong that you see people succeeding in their business and 2 and 3 years in, and you're like, why am I not where they are? It's because they have such a strong why that gets them up every morning, and it makes them do the what and the how, because their why is so strongly developed that no matter what obstacle that they're going to come across, no matter what excuse, they're going to get the things done. So everybody has a why. Do you know yours? We want to feel an undying passion for our work. So if we want to feel we're contributing to something bigger than ourselves, we need to know why we are doing this business. If you guys have read The Slight Edge, the things that we do every single day are easy to do, and they're really, really easy not to do. It's just people that have a strong, really passionate why that do them no matter what, regardless. So the biggest way to develop a strong why is your belief. So I was a coach from 2010 until 2012. I did nothing with the business. You guys are on. You want to just mute yourself really quickly. I did nothing with the business because I didn't have a strong why. I strongly didn't. I was following these coaches on social media, and I was like, why? I'm like, I know what they're doing. I know how they're doing it, but why are they doing this? And I didn't have a strong why. So in that started from my lack of belief. So in order to have a strong why and really go far with this business, you have to believe so strongly in your why and what you're doing. If you don't believe really strongly in the programs and the shit, you're drinking your shake every single day, and you don't believe in yourself and what we stand for as a community and the challenge groups, then it's really hard for other people to believe that they're going to join you and believe that they can do it too. So really strongly believing in yourself and what you're doing is so hard. It all starts with us. So I don't know if I need to say this, but if you're not doing 100 morning meltdown, then you are like missing the boat 100%. Like you should have started day one or already on day two of that program, because that's what's going to drive your belief into starting with you. And that's while people see you, they start to see that belief that you see in yourself, and they start to believe that they can do it too. So starting with you is so important. So if you don't believe in why you were doing it, it's hard for other people to join you. So when I first started, I just wanted to feel, better in my own skin. And I just believed in the programs and the products because like I knew that they worked. I did them before. I believe that that's really, really strongly what got me into this business is the programs and the products, because I knew that they worked and I knew that I wanted to feel better. But other than that, I didn't really have like a strong why. Like I was like, yeah, this is great, but I'm like, have a job and I have 2 little kids and I already, have a career. And so I really, really needed to dig into my why. So my why was I wanted to come home to my kids because my job was like just very, really like stressful. I was traveling a lot during the week. I missed a lot of my kids, my older son, John's like first steps, like all of these different things. We were still, even though my husband and I both made, had decent jobs, we were living paycheck to paycheck after daycare and all of those things. So for me, my why was like, I saw other people being able to come home part-time. So that was my why, was that I wanted to, maybe take the stress off of my life by being able to maybe go part-time. And then just financial freedom. So that was one of my strong whys. So what we do as coaches is we help people. That's what we do. That is not our why. Your why is something that's like super, super personal to you. And so you have to really dig deep, because this opportunity, I'm living it, guys. Like I've been home for 4 years now, just solely doing Beachbody. And now my why has gravitated to maybe, being able to bring my husband home. And I never, ever thought that was possible. But I just strongly believe that, and I saw other people, and I saw that my brother was doing this. And I made it, and I put that on my vision board, that maybe that could be me, right? Like maybe that's going to be you. But you have to do it so hard every single day and really dig into what your why is. And everybody's why is going to be extremely different. And it's going to change over time. And I know what Brooke said is true. When I first started, that wasn't my why. Like I just wanted to pay for my kids' daycare and student loans. So it's going to change over time. You guys are on. If you want to mute yourself. Sorry, I'm trying to let's keep going. Hold on, sorry guys. Mute. Okay, so development leap by focusing on what is your why. So everything in this business is going to trickle down into every area of your life when you focus on your why. You're going to, start to see your business, start to increase. You're going to start to see your finances start to increase. You're going to start to see your team do better. Everything focuses on when you do your why. So one of the things when I did my business, I would do power hours, right? Pockets of power hours when I was working for corporate and 2 little kids. And when my alarm went off in the morning, I did not want to get out of bed. I did not want to get out of bed. But I always told myself short-term sacrifices for long-term results. That was like my thing that I told myself every morning. Like if I get up and I focus on doing my power hour, nothing in my life is going to change that day. If I do my invites, my workout, and show up on social media, nothing is going to immediately change that second. But long-term, if I consistently show up and I focus on my why, it's going to compound over time. And eventually your team of 2 people, 4 people, 8 people is going to start to grow. So finding your why can be sort of a tough task. Like I said, it can change, but it's something that you really, really want to just sit down and like ask yourself, like, do I want more time in my life? Do I want more financial freedom? Am I stressing out about something? Like really digging in and sitting down and thinking about it, and then sharing and developing it with your coach. So it's not something you should rush into, but it's like a valuable process that's going to help you in both your personal life and your business life. So basically, like I talked about, your belief, I had that already, but now I needed to pair it with a strong why in order to get up and do those things every single day. And this is just little like income progression. Like we all start out making nothing when we start. We all start out as a coach. We all start out with becoming an emerald, and then we get to diamond, right? Everybody starts in this business on the same track. We all know what to do. We all know how to do it. It's just the people that have that really, really strong why, you're going to move your business forward faster because you're more passionate about that. Honey, can you hold on a second? My 2-year-old's walking in. Hey, we need to go in this room. Can somebody help me with him? I'm on a call. Stop. Sorry, guys. My husband, like, okay. Anyways, okay, so these are some of the things that kind of helped me was like, I wanted more freedom in my life. I wanted less stress. I wanted the ability to own my life. And I really, really struggled with Monday blues. Like I lived for the weekends. And then by Sunday, I was like, my whole Sunday was just like my Monday blues. So that was a big, big driver for me. So if you notice, like on Sundays, I'll be talking about, how I don't have to go, I can stay home with my kids now, or like you're doing this because you can go on those vacations. So like really diving into those things that are pinpointers for you and why you started this business. Okay, so this is just like a really cool, I forgot his name. His name is like Simon Sinek, I think. But he has like a whole YouTube series on like how to figure out your why and like videos to watch and step-by-steps. But basically like everything, the circle of what you're going to do is from your why. So why do you do what you're doing? What's the purpose? How we do it, and then what we do, right? So a lot of times coaches, when they don't, when they're struggling with their business or they don't know why they're doing it, they focus on the what to do, right? Like, I don't know what to do, right? Or like the how. You really, really, when you focus first on like the why, and then you track backwards, you're going to get up and do your workout. You're going to send those invites. You're going to refocus. So there's his name right there, Simon Sinek. He has like an amazing series on like how to develop your why it's so important, how to focus on that. So I definitely suggest looking him up. This is just kind of an exercise that I actually did in one of my challenge groups. Like, a lot of our challenge, or even just our challengers when they start, right? Or they might fall off and they're on day one right now and they're all motivated and they're so excited and the energy is up, right? But what happens on day 30 when like things get a little bit like boring and, they're not, that excitement isn't there? Really digging into just like your challengers wise is going to help them eventually turn them into somebody that really believes in the programs that could eventually be somebody on your team. So I want to start running. I want to exercise regularly. You want to lose weight and feel great. But why? Like, why are they gravitating towards you? Why do they want to do this workout program? Why does it matter to them? So I want to do 100-day meltdown because I am really struggling with my weight right now and I'm not, satisfied with where I am and I feel miserable. And having them really dig into like why they're doing it. And I know obviously in her book that she has a whole section on this too, which is really great because that's going to keep your challengers on track if you help them with developing their why just in their own fitness journey and yourself obviously as well. Okay, so these are some good questions to ask yourself, right? And ask your coaches. So determine your why. There's no time for flabby goals. Define your dreams. Knowing what's motivating you will help your vision become a reality. So every single coach and everybody is so different. Everybody's going to have a completely different why. And that's why it's so personal. So you really have to ask yourself and be really clear and specific about like what and why are you starting this business and how is it going to help you? So what's your main reason for becoming a coach, right? Like, why did you start this side business? What are my personal dreams? What would I do with extra income? You know, for me, like when I first started coaching, like $500 a month extra was huge for my business, like huge for my family. It covered, you know, your groceries, or it can cover your car. Like money is like a weird topic that people don't want to talk about, but money makes the world go round. Like you go to your job every single day because at the end of the day, you're getting your paycheck, right? And everything with this business, if you have, you know, more income, you can have more time, more freedom, less stress, like be able to take your kids on vacation, be able to, you know, pay for all those extra things that you know, stress about. So really figuring out like, what are my family goals? What would extra income do for me? And what if I had more time in my life, right? Like, what if I had more freedom? What if I, you know, could go on that vacation on a Thursday and I didn't have to ask a boss? So really asking yourself these questions and having your coaches do that as well is going to help you dig deeper into what you really want out of this opportunity. Because really, truly, this business can give you all those things. It can give you financial freedom. It can give you that community support. It can develop, I don't even know if I have to say this, like amazing relationships and friendships. If you're a brand new coach and you are just starting out, like the relationships that you make with your coaches are going to be like some of the best friendships you're ever going to have, hands down. So like the community aspect. But a lot of times, like it really does come down to like the finances. Like I know that in order for me to be able to come home, like I needed to be able to show my husband, like, look, I'm making X doing what I love, coaching. So I can now, you know, instead of paying daycare, I can come home to my 2 kids, right? That was like my husband's like total red personality, like had no idea what this business was. Like he was like, I need to see like this, and then you can do that, right? So that was a big push for me, and one of the main whys that I had. So really just digging into these questions, digging deep into what your why is going to help you push forward in like your other business. Like maybe you guys see, you know, obviously Brooke, like she was able to come home, and Ashley Fell Dyson and Pat, they didn't just start out where they are now. They started out as a coach and they had to develop their why. And I know Brooke, like she literally texted me every single day what her why was, almost like, this is my why. This is what I'm doing. I'm pregnant. I'm teaching. I have a 1-year-old, but I know that that's a short-term sacrifice because this is my why for the long term. And so obviously when you develop this why, it's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It is not going to maybe even happen, you know, in 6 months. But if you consistently focus on it every single day during those power hours or those pockets of time that you're working on, and you focus on your why first, and then, okay, this is what I need to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is why I'm doing it. You're going to start to see success in your business. So now Brooke's going to talk a little bit about after you develop your why and you have it like sitting up on your thing or your notepads or wherever you keep your why. Obviously it's good to have it here, but like things happen, life happens, kids, you know, like all those different things, stressors in our life, moving, people, you know, our family members, you know, maybe passing away, and you're going to have bumps in the road and you're going to have like ups and downs. So having your why somewhere, or telling your teammates, or having an accountability partner, but somewhere that you can see it all the time, is really going to help you with pushing forward each day. So Brooke's going to talk a little bit about your vision and like how you, you know, for the long term, develop that why and make it a reality. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing, Brooke. There you go.
All right, just give me 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
See my Facebook? Okay. All right, cool. All right, hi guys. Thanks, Annie. I'm going to go into my story a little bit in a couple of slides, I think. But I just wanted to say, obviously, you know, we're doing this call together for a reason. The vision and the why of your business clearly go hand in hand, and you know, one definitely influences the other and vice versa, and there's definitely some overlap. But like Annie said, having a strong why is so crucial to your entire business, but also the vision of your business and the vision of your business coming to life. I think as a new coach, so I'm sure we have some newer coaches on here, it's okay to not 100% know exactly what your why is. I think we all come into this business because we want to help people, and that's okay. If that's what your why is when you start as a brand new coach, that's okay. As long as you're constantly thinking and trying to evolve your why, so that it becomes bigger and it has more of like a personal emotional attachment, because that's what's going to force you to wake up every single day or stay up late every single day or find the pockets of time, skip the Netflix and do your invites instead. That's what's going to push you to show up every single day, is having that like attachment to your why. Because, I think none of us would be here if we didn't like helping people. That's the core of this business. But just helping people, like Annie said, sometimes talking about money, I know for me personally, it used to feel really awful and icky to talk about money. But at the end of the day, we all have bills to pay, right? And just wanting to help people is not going to pay our bills. It needs to be more than that. So like Annie had said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about taking that why and creating this vision, not only for your business. Yeah, we're here because we're all coaches and this is our business, whether it be your full-time business, your part-time business, but also, your business is your life. Like, you're doing this business for a reason. To, whatever that may be that affects your life, your family's life, where you live, the kind of financial situation that you're in, it affects all of those things. So know that this is a vision for your life, but also your business. All right. So basically, I think we all know, but basically a vision is knowing that big things are going to happen. Not maybe going to happen, not possibly going to happen, not someday, I hope, I wish, I plan for. No. Vision is, it is stuck in your brain that there is no way, if, ands, or buts, that as long as you do the work and you stay the course and you are consistent AF, that your vision is going to come to life. Like, it's going to become your reality. It's not a solid vision if it's a hope or a dream. That's something completely different, right? A vision is just knowing without a doubt that it's going to happen. And then your actions are the things that are going to make that vision a reality. I have a quote later on here, but it's essentially saying that a vision is not going to come to life unless you are doing the things to make it happen. You can't just wish for it or want it or hope for it. You have to put in the work, which I think we all know, but we have to make sure that we're consistent. And that's obviously where our BAT comes in, and our vital behaviors and all that fun things. So a little bit more about like my why and my vision. For those of you who don't know me, I have been a coach for over 4 years. When I started, I was teaching kindergarten. I was a full-time kindergarten teacher. I think when I had started, I had taught for like 4 years. Long story short, I had watched Annie forever and ever. She actually went to high school with my husband. So she's like one of those people that you like, but you don't really know. And so, but her posts and her journey and her story caught my attention enough to kind of follow a little bit more closely. And so at the time that I started really paying attention to her story, I'm a type A by nature. I'm a planner. I had started thinking about the future, and I loved teaching, but I realized that I was getting burnt out really fast. I'm the type of person who, whatever I do at like 150%. And so, and the return for teaching, like it emotionally, it was great. I love the kids, and it was, a warm, fuzzy feeling knowing that I'm helping the kids. But for all the time and the effort I was putting in for the pay that I was getting, it was tough. And just being a planner and having that vision for my life and knowing that I wanted to have kids one day, I was like, I kind of came to a standpoint, and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to continue on being the teacher that I want to be, and also have anything left, any patience, any energy, any time left for my own kids. And so while I would be able to continue to be the teacher that I wanted to be, I couldn't also be the teacher and the mom that I knew I wanted to be. Like I couldn't wear both of those hats. I know a lot of people do it, and it wasn't what I saw for my life. And so at the same time, we were thinking clearly of having kids and growing our family. And from teaching full time, I was getting a lot less sleep. We were eating a lot of more fast food. There was like little to no time for working out. So I had gained weight. So, everything just kind of came to a head for me, and I wanted to lose weight and I wanted to start a business because I had that vision again. I saw what I wanted my life to look like, and I knew that I needed to do something about it now so that I would have options later. I never wanted to be put in a situation where I had to go back to work because of finances or because I needed health insurance or something. And we couldn't live, like I'm a realist, and we can't live off of just my husband's income. So I was like, I see Annie doing this thing. She is living this life that I want. She's happy. She's clearly really healthy. She's home with her 2 boys. She's still making an income. Like that's the life that I saw for myself 5 years down the road. And so, I really went all in. My life goal was to stay home with my kids. My mom had stayed home with us. It was just a personal preference, something that I wanted for my life. But like how are we going to make that happen? And that's where this business came in. This business was our answer. So right from the get-go, I had this really strong why. Like I didn't even have any kids yet. I wasn't even pregnant yet, but I knew what I wanted my life to be in 5, 10, 15 years. And I knew that what I was doing then wasn't going to get me any closer to that life goal, that life vision. And so enter Beachbody. And so I knew I had that vision. I knew that if I did something about it, then it would pay off in the future. So I started my business and I got pregnant a couple months later. So then here I was, I'm like super pregnant. I was a 6th year teacher, coaching part-time and pregnant, going to bed late, waking up early. Because again, I had that vision that if I put in the work now, like there's short-term sacrifices, like Annie said, for that long-term result. And so it worked. I certainly hadn't replaced my income at the time, but it was enough to justify taking a 16-month leave of absence, which was huge. As a teacher, I took all the rest of that school year and the whole next school year. I always knew I was never going back, but I just couldn't really say it out loud to like my husband or my parents. And then my son was born, and here I am. I'm a first-time mom. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was working on very little sleep, but I just did the best I could. I showed up every single day. I brought everybody along on this journey. So basically the foundation of my business was built on like gaining 50 pounds during my pregnancy, and then the transformation back to my pre-pregnancy body. And I just, I wasn't perfect. I'm still a newbie coach. I didn't really 100% know what I was doing, but I had that vision. Like I had such a connection and a strong attachment to that why that I was willing to do whatever the hell it took to get there. And so I knew that after having been home for 16 months, if I had to go back after that, that was even like worse. That was even going to be even more of a tease. And so I hustled. And so, again, I still hadn't replaced my income, but it was enough to justify not going back, like daycare and a dog walker and gas. And it just didn't make sense. So, I've always had that strong connection, but if you don't, and I've had that strong vision since day one, but if you don't have that yet, that's okay. It'll come. Just keep kind of digging deep for your vision, for your life, but also for your business, because they definitely go hand in hand. So I'm sure if you are more of a veteran coach, you've heard us talk about the escalator mindset, or if you're a brand new coach, this is the first time you'll hear about this. I think of Pat whenever I think about the escalator mindset. He talks about it often as an analogy to our businesses, whereas your goals for your business and your life and your vision are at the top of this escalator. So literally envision an escalator and like moving up, and your goals are at the top of this escalator, and everything you do in your business gets you one step closer to the top of that escalator, to achieving your why, to reaching your goal and your vision for your business. Like every workout you do gets you a little bit closer. Every invite you send, every follow-up you send, every authentic post you write, like gets you one step closer, which is awesome. But just as easily as those little things get you closer and closer and closer, and the compound effect, they add up over time, just as easily as you can get to the top, you can get to the bottom, get pushed back down to the bottom too, when you're not doing those things consistently. Doesn't mean you have to work out every single day. Doesn't mean you have to post every single day, but you have to be consistent. You can't go anywhere, because when you go somewhere, when you take a week off, or you take a couple weeks off, or you take a hiatus, that's when your business loses its validity to yourself. I think like you're like emotionally and mentally to yourself, and you kind of start doubting yourself and your business, but also to your followers. Like people are ultimately going to join you when they see that you're the real deal, when they see that they can trust you, when they see that you're showing up for yourself every day. And if you're showing up for yourself every day, you're going to show up for them every day too. But if you're not doing that, then you're going to lose trust with them, and it's going to be hard for them to trust you and to join you. So, just thinking about that escalator mindset about everything you're doing is getting you one step closer to your goal. But at the same time, you don't want to stop doing what you're doing. You just have to stay consistent. You just have to do the things. You don't have to send 100 invites a day. You just have to be consistent. Ashley Feldison talks about this in a similar way to adding a pebble to your pile. She says, like, everything you do adds a little pebble, and it adds up and it adds up, and every workout, every invite, every follow-up, until one day you turn around and you're like, holy shit, there's a huge pile, like a mountain that I've created from doing all of the little things, because it all adds up. Then think of this business as your avenue to freedom. This is actually, I kind of learned of this after the fact, but this was the basis for me naming my team. My team is Team Liberate, and it comes from Liberate is obviously like, being free, setting yourself free. And for me, because this business was literally like setting me free from the 9-to-5 life that I wanted so badly to get out of. But freedom is different for everybody. Like I think of Pat, when I share this analogy with my team, I always think of Pat because, for him and I, clearly our definition of freedom is different. For me, it was being able to stay home with my kids and not having to go to a job and not having to show up to a boss and be somewhere at a specific time with a specific dress code. Like I didn't want that. Pat didn't want that either, and he wants it to be able to not have to ask for time off. He always talks about how in accounting, there's only certain periods of time throughout the year that he could take vacations, and he just likes, the freedom to be able to travel. And so whatever freedom means to you is what needs to help drive you forward to make that vision come to life. So think about it. Like what, if this business is your avenue to freedom, what does that mean to you? Because what it means to you might be different than what it means to me. Like, what do you want to accomplish? Like, what is that vision for your life, for your business, for your family? I think when you can tie in your family, especially if you're a parent or if you want to be a parent one day, I think that, I know for me personally, that really helps because it has that like emotional attachment to it, which is, I think a lot of us who are parents would do anything for our kids, and it just really, really, really drives me forward. So I encourage you to think about that. Like if this is your avenue to freedom, this business can allow you, like Annie said at the end of her part, like this business can allow you to do anything. If you just put in the work and you show up consistently enough, like sure, it might take a few years, but in the grand scheme of things, if it takes you 5 years, then you have another 50 years to enjoy it. Like, who cares? Just keep showing up. It depends how old you are, but you know what I mean. So you have to make the commitment. You have to commit. You can't be wishy-washy. You can't be in and out in your own mindset, in your posts. You have to be committed, and that has to come, like that has to shine through to your challengers and to your followers. You have to be, no matter how long it takes, you have to show up every single day. Be here 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now. You have to have the mentality that no matter what it takes, no matter what comes your way, no matter what obstacles come through in your personal life, you are going to be here. Think of your business as an outlet. I'm a huge control freak, so I love this analogy. I think this came from Ashley Feldeisen too. Your business is something that you can control, right? Like when life is kind of out of whack, if you're going through a divorce, if you're going through a breakup, a loss, whatever, this is something that you can control. It's a constant thing. You can control how many invites you send. You can control how many follow-ups you send. You can control how many friend requests you send. This is something that you can control. Like I know when I haven't worked, I can tell, like I kind of start to feel like anxiety when I haven't worked my business in like a day or two, just because of whatever. When you sit down and you do that power hour and you feel like you're like, yeah, I'm a badass. Like I'm back in control of this. Like I can do this. It feels really good. And so if you can just do that consistently, lean in when things get hard rather than, your business should be the thing that you lean into the most when things get busy or hectic or exhausting or stressful, not the thing that goes first. Because eventually you're going to get over that breakup or whatever, time heals. You want your business to still be there when that situation has kind of settled. Now ask yourself, like, seriously, what do you want? Your vision for your life should sound kind of scary. Like if you were to tell your vision of your life to someone who's not a Beachbody coach, who's not on this team, who doesn't understand like what's possible with this business, it should kind of sound a little scary. Like people would be like, what are you talking about? But that it's possible. That as long as you don't go anywhere, it's going to happen. It's like, what do you want? Don't think small. Like think big. Like think about time. What do you want to do with time? Not necessarily, like time is different. It can be a huge array of different things, like time to travel, time to spend with your kids. Maybe you want to not have your 9-to-5 job so you have time to do some volunteer work that you've always wanted to do. Whatever. Time is priceless. It's so cheesy, but it is. Like this business is the avenue to give you that more time to do whatever you want. Think about money. How much money do you want? And it's not like, oh, I want to win the lottery. It's like, really though, how much money do you want in order to fulfill your vision, in order to be able to do the things that you want to do? Like I just wanted enough money that I didn't have to go back to my 9-to-5. Now I am home from my 9-to-5. So now I want more money to, like go on vacations and not have to kind of pinch pennies and not have to like worry about checking my bank account before the electric bill comes out, things like that. Just stability. Think about relationships. Like maybe you want, more time to have better relationships with, your immediate family who lives across the country that you don't get to see very often. So you want to be able to go see them more often. Whatever, like relationships, that's like priceless too. And belongings, like what kind of things do you want? Like we wanted a bigger house so that we could have more kids. Like what kinds of things do you want? You deserve it. So you got to get out of your comfort zone. And you have to do the things that are going to make your vision come to life. You can't just like say it and you can't just want it. You have to, your actions speak louder than words. You have to do the things to make your vision come to life. Like how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Like what are you willing to do? What are you willing to like sacrifice? Sleep, time, TV time, social life, like not that you have to, be a loner and never see your friends ever again, but instead of going out twice a week, maybe you only go out once a week and you spend that extra couple hours doing, an extra power hour, sending an extra 50 invites or whatever. Skip the Kardashians, skip the Bachelorette, whatever, and do the things you want to do. Short-term sacrifice for long-term results. And then I found this and I just thought it was really fitting. A vision without action is merely a dream. So like without doing the things, just wanting it without doing it is a dream. Actions without first having that vision of like knowing where you're going is just a waste of time. But a vision with action can literally change your world. It can change your life. It can change your family's life. That's all.
That's amazing. And one of the things I know for Brooke too is that like you can give this gift to other people.
Mhm.
If I didn't share our story and keep showing up, like, because you do that, you're going to find somebody like Brooke or find somebody like yourself that is looking for something more, that wants something else in their life, and you can give them this opportunity. So don't be afraid to, like Brooke said, dream big. The minute I know Brooke probably, like, the minute I kind of took a time limit off of like, if I'm going to give myself 30 days, and if I don't see success, I'm quitting. Like, it's a lifestyle. It is your life. Like, it is part of who you are. It is like what you do. And that kind of changes a lot, for you as well. Just knowing that this is something that you do and it's fun, and it becomes way less stressful that you have time limits or you have this like certain thing that you need to do. So absolutely awesome. Do you want to do like questions? Does anyone have questions or anything? Who feels like a little bit more refocused and like ready to dive into their why more? Beth, everyone's hands should be way up. This is like one of my favorite topics. I know it's like more like the Brooke, like, like the vision of where you can be. Like, imagine where you can be in 5 years. Like, honestly, like in 5 to 10 years, you could be so far ahead with your dreams or where you want to be. Like, I know for Brooke, like probably 5 years ago, did you think you'd be on this call?
No.
Like, I never thought I would be doing this or having these crazy dreams. Or like Brooke said, like, I remember telling like maybe 1 or 2 people that were in the Beachbody world what my biggest goal was, which is to leave my job. And like, I think they laughed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm going to make it happen. Like,
Watch me.
So have those big goals for yourself, but have those little ones too. So you can, wake up every day and you have little consistent things. Does anyone have any questions? You can like unmute yourself or
throw it in the chat.
I want to be hosting a call. You will. Reignite your why. Yes, Jenny. Like, even though I've been doing this for 6 years, like, I still have to rethink of my why all the time. I still have to be my husband. This boxer.
Did you not know you're on a call?
Yeah. Anyone want to say anything or share a goal? It's kind of
share your why or how your why has evolved. If you're a more veteran coach, I know I see some more veteran coaches on here. Don't be shy.
I want to be able to move August 1st, 2020, somewhere with real beaches. It's a good one. And I know another thing that helped us, we did this in January. We did like a vision board. So like those are kind of cool. Like you can make all your goals and put them on one vision thing. That kind of helps coming up with ideas. Debt-free, student loan-free, more time with my boys.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have like a vision board as the background on their phone or the background of their computer. It's kind of that like daily visual reminder of why they're hustling.
Financially stable for my future family and stay home with my kids someday. Great one. Awesome. Landscaping, house updates, vacations. Yes. Debt-free, travel. Like, imagine like how amazing it would be to be debt-free, right? Or paying off your student loans. Like, I think they told me I would be like 50 when I was able to pay them all off. And because of this opportunity, I was able to do it way sooner, which is really awesome because those stink. Retire early, financial peace, debt-free. Yes. Awesome. Yeah. So really dive into this program. Focus on your why. We all know like how to do it and what to do it. Getting on these calls, like asking these questions. I'll post this slide so you can send it to your team or look it over. But asking yourself those tough questions, asking your coaches those tough questions. And like Brooke said, like in the beginning when somebody asked me those questions, I don't think I ever heard what is your why until Beachbody. Like I had no idea. So it's okay if you're new and you're kind of figuring it out and, coming up with ideas because it's going to take a little bit of time, but you'll work on it. So, all right. Anything else?
No, I think we're good. Shoot us the recording when you have a chance.
Okay. Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks so much for jumping on.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Have a good rest of your night.
Yeah. Everyone's day one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Bye, guys. Thanks. Bye, Brooke.